think we need to start getting some things cleaned up. I'm gonna hit that a little bit today. One of the things that we need to get into today is some cleanup. I'm going to go back out to the old barn, start pulling out some stuff. Needs to be sorted and all that. One of the things that I've wanted to do is build a little wooden pad for the dogs. I got a dog area and a lot of concrete, and it's a little chilly and on the concrete. So I want to build a little wooden slab pad for the dogs, and knowing that there's that lumber out there right now, I think that might be the perfect thing, the perfect resource to use that lumber for something. Also, my son Hank has been asking me about a tree house. Now, I don't know that any of that wood is going to be useful for that project, but we'll see. I'm going to imagine that most of it is going to be for the dump, but either way, anyway, it's all got to get cleaned out and cleaned up. So I've got a couple of hours. Let's see what I can get done. Well, I don't know if you can call this a dent. It's barely even a dent. But out of this stall over here, I pulled out, I don't know, a little bit of a truckload of stuff. Yeah, mostly HVAC stuff. Going to take that as load number one, and pulled out these boards here so I can make my little platform for the dogs. Out of that, I got some 2x4s at the house, so I'll use that with these boards, these shorter boards here. They look to be about 5-6 feet long, so that'll give me a nice little spot for the dogs to lay down up off the floor and do that. But some of this stuff looks like, some things that might be useful to somebody. So I think what I'd like to do is maybe take that to the Restore, the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and give that to them as a donation. I don't know if they'll take this vinyl siding or not. I can ask them, because that would be a huge benefit for somebody, because it's just sitting doing nothing right now. So first things first, let's get this sucker out of here. All right, so we got one load down and heading back for another one. Wanna maybe pick up some stuff. I've got some things that need to get donated out to Salvation Army. I got some stuff that needs to go just get out of there. So I don't have a ton of time. It took me about 45 minutes from the loading process to the unloading process to like right now to get there. So we'll see. I'd like to spend less than know, another hour on this thing, but man, I've got a ton of stuff to do, but I think it'd do a long way to get it going. Like I said, I'd like to get that deck area for the dogs done tonight, so that tomorrow the dogs can be up off that concrete. It's actually a nice day out today. You know, we're 50 degrees, so the dogs are enjoying it outside. I'm enjoying it outside. But it's a matter of weighing everything out and getting it going. And hopefully, with my truck being a little bit more emptied than it was when I started, without my personal trash can and all that mess, be a little bit easier to get that going. And I wouldn't be opposed to grabbing lunch at some point today, but I don't know, that might not happen. My Churchill might be the lunch for the day. We'll see. Well, I was able to get a hold of the folks over at the Restore, and they said basically they weren't interested in this vinyl siding here. There's piles and piles of it, but not interested because they can't sell it unless it's in a box, and people just sift through it and they end up taking it to the landfill and incur the cost. And so anyway, we'll see what we need to do to get rid of it. On to the cleanup, I guess. So here we are up in the old barn, and there is some wood here that's in actually really good shape. As disorganized as it is in pretty good shape. And you know, there's some trim boards and some junk and some sand and just random, you know, just needs to be cleaned out. But other than the cleanup aspect of it, I think it's, you know, I don't think it's going to be a horrible job to do and get done. The building is, you know, it's seen better days, clearly. I mean, the boards are rotted out of the ceiling. The boards up here are lifted off, and the metal's coming off and everything else. I think with some work and labor and energy put into it, I think a guy could do something with it, make it functional again. It would need the better part of a whole roof put back on it, but shoot, this thing, I mean, it still seems to be holding up decent. But again, a lot of cleanup. This middle section here, as I said previously, is just filled with vinyl siding that is going to have to get disposed of in some way, shape, or form. The other third bay there is filled with mostly plywood and larger pieces. Sit here and think for a minute. There's this door back here. I'd like to go see what's behind it. Let's check it out. So there's the door. Piles and piles. I'm probably up 2 feet full of wood. Oh, shit. Here's the old some sort of a electric fence with a solar panel on it. So we don't need that. Electric fence all over it. What was the door? See here, I'm standing on something metal under my feet. But it's a chunk of the roof. Absolutely, that's what it is. Big old chunk of the roof. It came from right there. Right there. The back of that thing is bulging hard too. That's in the back of this. Love to get my tractor back here and blow some of this crap out of here. Shit. What a mess. But yeah, here's as far as we can go. Well, I mean, just walk all the way across there, I guess, but what a mess. And this thing drops off pretty hard right there. Wouldn't want to get too close to the old tractor, because that thing is, you can't really see it through all the reeds, but it almost nearly vertical drop. What a mess. See the deer trails in here though. They're walking through. Absolutely covered in grass and weeds and shit. Man. What a mess. One step at a time. I was looking to see if there's any more 2x4s on this side. And I don't see any others that I can reclaim too easily. So we're just going to leave it at that for the moment. And move that tetanus shot out of the way. That was the easiest way to get back in, is the way I came. But anyway. Yeah, some pallets, some plywood, some junk. I'm sure there's an animal or two floating around in here, but nothing I need to worry about at the moment. So, here's what I got in the truck. Because I was working right on top of a mud hole, I took some of this old vinyl siding and threw it down on the ground so I could walk on it without sinking into the mud. And ended up filling the back of my truck with quite a bit of treated lumber planks. It looks like it came off like a deck or something. Quite a few planks of it. And got that. The other side is carpet, trim, junk, wood, and so that'll go to the garbage. So half garbage, half salvage, and I'll build that little upright for the dogs today, so I'm happy about that. I didn't want to leave this lumber. You could see as I was going, I was propping some stuff up here. But I don't want to leave it like that. I don't know how long it's going to be. I can only imagine. I'd love to be able to get back out here again, maybe tomorrow or later on this week or something, and clean that up a little bit more. I don't know if that's a reality that's going to actually work. So what I'm going to do is lay that lumber back down so it doesn't warp. I mean, it's pretty well dried out, so I don't think it would anyway. I mean, it's not like I'm leaving it for a long period of time. But this is a good little start to what could become Hank and Etta's treehouse. So that's also an exciting thing. So without dwelling on it too long, I suppose I'm going to take this next load to the dump. Take this other load up to the other garage so I can work, and maybe take a load of stuff to the Goodwill and call this project clearly not done, but clearly at a pause for the day, for the time being. Appreciate you coming along with me and hanging out. Appreciate the likes, shares, subscribes, comments, anything you can do to help the channel grow, but also the interaction that you have and the record keeping that I put forth in trying to rebuild a little bit of a homestead and what we're doing out here on Burgher Acres as a little bit of posterity. Gosh, I broke a sweat, so time to get moving. Have a good one.